we promise to never forget. So today we pay tribute by following in his footsteps.
We run through it like a bat out of hell!
On 9/11, firefighter Stephen Siller strapped on 60 pounds of gear running through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to the Twin Towers.
When we run through that tunnel, let's celebrate their life!
Thousands gathering in New York City as they do every year to retrace that brave and historic journey.
To honor the families, to honor the fallen.
Walking.
Very emotional, but very healing.
Running.
Oh man, that was so worth it.
Remembering.
This is my uncle, Steve Siller. I hold his banner every year.
Stephen Siller and all of our heroes.
It means everything. Serving every day on the line of duty.
Right now, special coverage from the starting line to the finish line. Plus, behind the scenes with this incredible organization as they're changing lives all year long.
They're a part of my family, and my family is the most important thing in my life.
This is the 2021 Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk.
The 2021 Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk is about to get underway right now. You're looking at the starting area in the Red Hook section of Brooklyn, New York.
Let's head up to Sky Fox for a view from above. You can see that thousands are gathered to follow a path from the Brooklyn entrance to the UL Carey Tunnel all the way to the site where the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center once stood. Hello, I'm Rosanna Scotto.
And I'm Bianca Peters. Thanks so much for joining us for this very special event.
The Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk is a tradition that began in 2002. With about 1,500 people, it has since grown to many times that number. It honors the sacrifices of our nation's military heroes and first responders, including the 71 law enforcement officers and the 343 FDNY firefighters who lost their lives on 9/11. One of those firefighters was Stephen Siller. He ran from the edge of Brooklyn all the way to the World Trade Center. Today's route retraces his steps.
The 5K Run and Walk is starting off in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Participants start on Hamilton Avenue and make their way through the UL Carey Tunnel, which was formerly known as the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. They exit that tunnel, they take a right onto West Street, then a left onto Liberty Street to the Battery Park Esplanade, then it's a right to North Esplanade, another right on Warren Street, and finally right onto West Street. The finish line is on West Street at Murray.
An incredible event to say the least, and Antoine Lewis is near the starting line.
He has much more on the mission of this event. Antoine, what's going on?
He's created such beautiful things.
Just to let you know what's happening right now, we are right next to the bandstand, the main stage area. So if you're hearing the voices and over the mic and over the loudspeaker, that's what's going on right now. That's the voice of Frank Siller who's talking right now as he's warming up the crowd. Some 30,000 participants are expected to participate in this event today. And it also, as you mentioned, honors Stephen Siller. And we just want to talk a little bit more, for those who didn't know him, about his legacy and the work that continues on in his name.
A real character, to be quite frank with you. He had a great personality. He loved people. He loved spending time with people.
Frank Siller is describing his youngest brother, Stephen, who on September 11th had just finished his FDNY shift when he heard of the World Trade Center attacks and drove to help. Stephen, who when he found out the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel was closed, strapped on his 60 pounds of firefighter gear and ran through the tunnel towards the Twin Towers. Stephen, who in his selfless effort to help save lives, lost his own that very day.
At the wake and stuff, and so many times I've seen people over the years, Stephen was my best friend. Stephen was my best friend. And why? Was because Stephen treated everybody that way.
Since Stephen's passing, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has made it their mission to give back in his honor. And for the last 2 decades now, the Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk has been its flagship event.
It has become very special to a lot of people. And it's also a way for people to celebrate the lives of their great friends or parents or loved ones.
$221,508 to your family.
Over the years, the foundation created programs to pay off the mortgages of first responders killed in the line of duty or to 9/11 related illness and fallen U.S. service members in order to keep their surviving families in their homes. It launched a Smart Home program to build mortgage-free modified homes for military personnel or police and firefighters that have been severely injured. We were there when Marine Corps veteran Sergeant Aaron Alonzo got his specially outfitted home in Newton, New Jersey earlier this year. But to commemorate the 20th anniversary of 9/11, Frank embarked on the Never Forget Walk, a more than 500-mile, 6-state journey that began at the Pentagon, then through Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and eventually back home to New York and through the now Hugh L. Carey Tunnel, tracing the same path his baby brother took to get into Lower Manhattan in 2001.
That same emotion was pouring out. Because, of course, I was thinking of Stephen and what was going through his head 20 years ago as he's running through that tunnel with his gear on. I'm sure he's thinking of his wife, his kids. He's thinking of his siblings because he just loved family so much. But he had a call to duty, and he responded.
And the duty of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation remains its promise to take care of those who take care of us.
When I'm long gone, this foundation is going to continue on, and we're setting it up that way to make sure that it continues forever.
You're hearing the refrains of Amazing Grace being played by the bagpipes that are assembled there, the fife corps that's there. So we want to send things back inside to you. It is absolutely a beautiful day out here, a beautiful day to remember, to never forget, a beautiful day to run or walk or even report. Back inside to you, ladies.
One of the people taking part in the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk is our own Reagan Mcgee.
Yeah, she is about to head to the starting line. Reagan, are you ready to run?
Yeah, I'm ready to run, and there are hundreds of others around me that are ready to run here for the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk. It is a gorgeous day, and I am joined now with Mark Phillips. He is the race director for the satellite race in Medina, Ohio. And Mark, every race has its own unique angle to it. Explain, how is your race different from all the others?
So one of the things we do in Medina is every participant receives a lanyard with an image of one of the firefighters, police officers that died on 9/11. They get a biography of that person that they can take home, find out a little bit more about them and their family, how many children they had, what they like to do on vacations, things like that. Just a short snippet of their life. And these folks then run or walk through our race with this memory in around their neck.
Now, you gave me Stephen Siller, and I see you have Stephen Siller as well.
Yes. So not only Stephen Siller, we have one for each of those people from 9/11, and they save those from year to year. It's very important for them, and it's really nice to see young children who weren't here on 9/11 learn about that person and their life, and it means a lot to us, it means a lot to the community.
And again, hundreds of people are here. You can see behind me firefighters, community members, and in the far distance, One World Observatory. And what an absolutely gorgeous day to pay tribute to those we lost. Ladies, back to you.
So true. Thank you so much. Very inspiring, Reagan. Ahead of the official start of the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk, an early wave of very special participants is at the starting line.
They include injured veterans, Gold Star families, and family members of fallen first responders. Arthur Chin is with one of those participants right now. Arthur, what can you tell us?
Rosanna, Bianca, yeah, we're at the start line. The yellow T-shirts are what you're going to see in the race for the people, the very special participants that you refer to. I'm here with one of them, Mecca Nelson. We had the privilege of learning about Mecca's story. Her husband, Mario Nelson, no longer with us physically, but still present, a strong presence here. Now, many of the people participating traditionally in this had a loss that originated on that day, but yours was a little bit different. Can you quickly explain?
Yeah, well, my loss was more, it started during 9/11 when it occurred, when he was National Guard, and that was the day it started, and that's the time it reminded him to say, that was the time he decided to go fully active duty. And that's when it all started for us. And then he was KIA'd in Iraq in 2006.
Thank you for allowing us to continue the privilege of learning your story by walking with you today. We're going to be with Mecca and get her impressions as we go through the tunnel, and we'll talk to you guys on the other side of it. For now, we're at the start line, and we will see you guys later. Bianca, Rosanna, back to you guys.
All right, let's take a look at the start of the early wave.
Family members of fallen first responders, we are so inspired looking at the start of this race. By the way, it is a beautiful day in New York City, much like it was the day that we were attacked here 20 years ago. This Tunnel to Towers organization has helped so many families. It has changed so many lives, and it inspires us to give back.
All right, talking about giving back, that money, about $250 million has been raised since the start of this foundation and the run. Those proceeds going to a lot of programs, many of them going to building mortgage-free homes for injured veterans, as you've seen some of them here in the starting line, and first responders. The Gold Star families wearing those yellow shirts said mission of America's Gold Star families to provide honor, hope, and healing to those grieving any military loss through active duty service in the United States.
Can you imagine being gifted? It's a smart home.
Yes.
So it helps those who have challenges get around, and it's free. This is where your money goes when you support the Tunnel to Towers organization.
Incredible, incredible organization to see what they've done throughout the years. 20 years, the 20th run.
And it keeps getting better and bigger and better every year. In just a few moments, the first wave of participants will step off from the starting line.
It is such an inspiring sight you do not want to miss. Stay with us.
I run for all the firefighters that risked their lives that day.
Well, I'm a military veteran, and I run for all the veterans that have fought in the war since 9/11.
I run for everyone that was affected by that day. We live downtown. We've lived down there for 16 years, seeing the rebuilding, and we want to keep the memories alive.
Welcome back. Never, ever forget. That's the title of this newly unveiled art installation. Artist Scott Lebedo created this sculpture as a tribute to the first responders who risked their lives on 9/11. Bianca, I thought it was real for a second. This is an art sculpture.
And it's incredible because he envisioned a piece that evoked the emotions of that heartbreaking day and captured the unity. All right, we are just moments away from the official start of the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk.
It begins on Hamilton Avenue in Brooklyn, continues into the entrance of the UL Carey Tunnel, and we're just seconds away. Are you ready?
I know one person that's ready. She's been there. She's one of those people that gets up very early in the morning to do any kind of physical activity. That is Reagan Mcgee. She is just about to take off on her journey through the tunnel.
Very exciting, Reagan. What's the mood like?
Just came over. My nephew, Danny, we just sang that beautiful song. All right, are we ready?
We're about to start the race. As you can see behind me, we have the first responders. That's the wave that will be beginning. Many who you see are running in their full gear, firefighter gear. Woo! This is exciting. The mood right now obviously is somber, but also there is some excitement and energy in the air. We know what happened 20 years ago. This is just marking and making tribute to all of those who died that day, and after that who fought the brave battles overseas. And you can see just the floods of people, all first responders you're seeing right now. This is the 9:30 wave that's going. We already had the injured veterans go, the widows of the fallen firefighters, NYPD, Port Authority officers, but now we have the active first responders, and it's incredible when you see people dressed up in their full attire. We have some firefighters in the back. We have police officers as well. This is going to be an exhilarating run, and I will be taking part very shortly. This is about a 3.7-mile run, 1.7 through the tunnel, and you could just feel the emotion, especially when you start. Ladies, back to you.
All right, let's check back in with Antoine Lewis near the starting line.
Antoine, what is the feel of the crowd down there?
You heard that horn. So this is the latest wave of runners, walkers, participants. We're talking about 30,000 that will be doing this today in honor of never forgetting, always remembering. How you doing? Absolutely a lot of attitude, great attitude that is out here. We'll make sure that Al and I are out of the way as you look again at this wave that's now making their way through the entire length. Good morning, good morning. The entire length of this that they will be doing, just over 3 miles between here and to where they have to come out on the other side of the now Hugh L. Carey Tunnel. And let's see, that's Team GMC. Earlier we were talking to this FDNY baby right there, absolutely. We were also with Team Semper Fi a little while ago. More FDNY, again, all in honor, showing their support, their love for Stephen Siller, who of course is the face, the legacy of this event. And again, we're still seeing more, still making their way. And good job, sir, good morning. And just want to stay with you right till we get like the last one. Have a great day. I'll say. And let's see. Good morning. How you doing? Okay, that looks like that's about the last ones of this group here right now. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up and send things back inside to you ladies in the studio. We're absolutely having a great time out here in Red Hook.
We got people from all over the country participating today.
30,000 people, incredible. One of the biggest 5Ks in the nation. So still ahead, a look at some of the other ways our heroes are honored and celebrated by Tunnel to Towers.
Plus, a powerful story you don't want to miss, how the foundation is giving new hope an NYPD officer severely injured in the line of duty. When we come back.
One of the many ways that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation supports our nation's heroes is by making sure that those with catastrophic injuries never have to worry about losing their homes.
Kayla Mamalak joins us with the story of a New York City police officer whose life was changed in an instant. Kayla, tell us about it.
You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody here that doesn't have a story that brings you to tears. One of those many people that we're talking about is Detective Dalsh Beve, who had a catastrophic incident just a few years back and has Tunnel to Towers to thank for so much of their family's recovery.
It is a devotion that is palpable. Adoration still beams through Esther Veve's eyes when she looks at her husband, Detective Dalsh Beve, after nearly a decade of marriage and in the face of everything they've been through.
Dalsh is a fighter. He's still fighting.
Fighting to learn to speak again and regain movement from the neck down. The Haitian-born NYPD officer suffered catastrophic injuries back in 2017 during a traffic stop in Brooklyn. Detective Veve was dragged for several blocks when a teenager driving a stolen car hit the gas. Esther remembers that 11 p.m. knock on her door like it was yesterday.
When your husband is a police officer, you always know something bad can happen. So at that point, it was more like a bargain. What is it? What is it? Whatever it is, let it not be the worst.
The worst is what doctors predicted. But over the last few years, Esther says, her husband has made massive strides. Still, the detective can only speak with difficulty, is limited to a wheelchair, and requires around-the-clock care. Plus, there's Darshi, the couple's now 6-year-old daughter.
She knows that Daddy is different. But one thing, she's not ashamed of her dad. She's very proud of her dad.
Last year, the mother says, all of that progress came to a standstill. Complications from a routine procedure turned into 5 surgeries. And then came word that Justin Murrell, the reputed gang member who put Detective Veve in a wheelchair, was about to walk free, following less than 3 years behind bars.
It was one of the most vulnerable times.
But brighter days came, Esther says, purely thanks to Tunnel to Towers. The Veve family became the first to receive a full mortgage payoff under the foundation's new plan to increase the number of first responders they assist.
A lot of hope.
And hope is really what it is all about. Any person you talk to here just talks about how this is a family. This is a group of people they can call and just feel like they're not alone. And that's what this run is all about today. Rosanna, Bianca.
Thank you, Kayla. We love hearing about these people, don't we?
Incredible stories.
I know the first participants of the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk are beginning to emerge from the Manhattan side of the UL Carey Tunnel.
And we're going to be taking you there when we return. Some very emotional stories as we have there a lot of portraits, 403 of them for first responders that were killed on 9/11, each to honor their names.
Welcome back to our coverage of the 2021 Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk.
Now, the first participants left the starting line in Brooklyn, and some of them have already made it to the Manhattan side of the UL Carey Tunnel. So one of the first things that they see when they come out of that tunnel are banners with the names and faces of fallen first responders and service members.
You know, it really hits home when you see those pictures. You know that they left behind families. They've missed birthdays, graduations, and weddings, so many events.
And some of the participants seen some of their family members, 403 that they have there with those full pictures, including 13 that were added this year of U.S. servicemen that were killed from the pullout in Afghanistan.
So Lizette Nunez is along the promenade where many of those banners can be seen. Lizette.
Hey, Bianca and Rosanna, as you mentioned, it makes it very real. So you mentioned those banners. So there's 4 pictures of first responders. We're talking about police officers, firefighters, and then also military members. So we're talking about across all the branches, folks who were deployed following 9/11. So a very real and emotional moment for a lot of these family members who were looking for their loved ones as soon as they were getting out of that tunnel. And I want to play you part of an interview that I just did with a family from North Sarasota, Florida. They were so emotional when they did see their loved one on one of those banners.
My husband was Army Sergeant Terrence Hinton, and this is my family. We're out here walking for him today, and we're also actually out here for the 20th anniversary of Tunnels to Towers, retracing Stephen Siller's footsteps, and I'm just so honored to be here. I'm a home recipient, so just an opportunity to come back here and take this memorial walk and to see all the people that come out here to remember those who have fallen over the last 20 years, not just in 9/11, but the war that started after. It's just very emotional. This is my daughter and her dad. So we actually lost him on Mother's Day 2017. So this is the first time we've been emotionally able to take this walk, and we're just so thankful to be here today. So let us all do good together. After 20 years, it's still growing and growing and growing. And I don't know if you've had a chance, everyone out there, if you haven't had the opportunity, please look up the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Their sole mission is to provide mortgage-free homes for catastrophically injured veterans, fallen responders, families, military families, and we couldn't do any of this without great patriots. So just wanted to say thank you. And again, my husband was Army Sergeant Terrence Hinton. They died twice, the day we lose him and the day we stop talking about him. So just thank you so much for the opportunity to even talk about him. You guys are helping keep all these names alive, and just thank you so much.
And this will be the second time this family participated in this event. And as you mentioned, this is very emotional, especially for this family, because of the 20th anniversary of 9/11. We'll send things back inside the studio.
Thank you, Lizette.
And our Lisa Evers is near the finish line.
She is joined by one of the heroes of the NYPD. Lisa, how's it going?
Rowan and Bianca, it's going fantastic. You know, the energy at this event, the spirit that is here makes it so much different from any other race or walk or charity event that you could possibly go to. And in preparation for this great day, I had the opportunity and the honor to interview one of our NYPD hero detectives.
NYPD Detective Terry Mcgee is the team captain once again for the FBI NYPD Joint Terrorism Task Force at the Tunnel to Towers 5K walk and run. It's made up of JTTF members in their green shirts, their families, and supporters. He's leading them in his wheelchair on this important mission to honor the military and first responders who make the supreme sacrifice of life and limb for our country. Speaking with Detective Mcgee at the JTTF Command Center, I learned that just like his counterterrorism investigations, he never gives up and never forgets.
I believe it's a tremendous honor to be a part of what the Tunnel to Towers represents. They have risen out of the dark days of 9/11, and they represent the dedication and the spirit of Stephen Siller and so many other law enforcement, first responders, fire department, and our military. My experiences being injured and having been shot back in 1990, there are a lot of questions families have, and to have an organization like the Tunnel to Towers, I think supporting you, I think that's a very noble cause.
Terry, how are you feeling after the raid?
I am extremely excited about being here today and being a participant in the Tunnel to Towers event. They've done so much for the families of our fallen heroes, military, first responders, and as you can see, I have a group of supporters here, and in addition to my family and friends, my colleagues from work that go to work every day and pursue the evil that contributed to taking the towers down. So we will not be deterred by our pursuit, and I'm glad we can share this energy and this enthusiasm with my children, my grandchildren, and my colleagues.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Detective Terry. Thank you so much. Thank you to the family members, to all the friends, to everybody. All right, thank you.
Jim Smith is above the finish line in Sky Fox. How's it looking, Jim?
And we were watching as the participants studied stream of them crossing the finish line along West Street. What happens when they come out of the tunnel, they'll make their way up West Street to Liberty Street. From there, they've been making the turn over towards the Esplanade along the Hudson River, and then finally making a right turn onto Warren Street, and once again back onto West Street, where they cross the finish line. Again, it's been a steady flow of participants now making their way across the finish line. Back to you.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, well, Reagan Mcgee is making her way through the route of the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk.
Here we go. That's Stephen with me. And Lou. All right, we're going in the tunnel. Woo! Woo! Hear that? Oh, man. That's awesome. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. To think that this is what Stephen did with his gear. Listen. That's what this run is all about. Unbelievable. This is what happens in the tunnel. The cadets chant. Feel the energy, the greater purpose of this run. Honoring all of those who went to try to save people in the towers. As we know, Stephen Siller did not make it out, but he did this run, and this is why we're doing it. We'll never forget. This is it. Yes! 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 Woo! Yes, thank you. Here we go. We got this.
Good job. Good strong finish.
This is how we do it.
Thank you all for your support. You should be all proud of yourselves today.
She always brings the energy. Thanks, Reagan. We'll check in with you in just a few minutes at the finish line.
But first, Ryan Christopher takes us inside a high-tech home built for Hero, thanks to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. When we come back.
I'm running for my buddy Sal and all the others. He was a fireman out of Red Hook.
I run for all the survivors and for people that are healing from trauma.
I run for Daddy.
Welcome back. Leading up to the 5K run and walk, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation held a series of events to celebrate the life and sacrifice of all 9/11 heroes.
A musical tribute to make sure we never forget. Now, the foundation hosted its inaugural Never Forget concert. This was to honor the thousands of innocent people who lost their lives in that terrorist attack. Several artists performed at the Northwell Health Jones Beach Theater, including Flo Rida, Journey, the Chainsmokers, Gavin DeGraw, and more. 1,000 free concert tickets went out to the first responders and frontline workers across Long Island.
Lloyd Areola, Joseph M. Abate.
Family and friends read the names of those lost to 9/11 related illnesses during a ceremony on Liberty Street in Lower Manhattan. The foundation says it wants to make sure that the heroes who worked at Ground Zero are never forgotten.
Very important thing to do. Now, the biggest sacrifices of our service members are sometimes not felt until long after they return from their tour of duty.
Ryan Christopher is with a Marine Corps veteran who lost his legs, most of his eyesight after he came home from Afghanistan. Ryan.
Here he is, ladies. This is Corporal Scott Knox from the United States Marine Corps. He enlisted, did 2 tours in Afghanistan. He also ran in 2 tower climbs here to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. While overseas, he developed dysentery, ended up leading to GI issues, and then eventually his body went into septic shock, where his legs were amputated, and he went blind. And he just crossed the finish line. Corporal Knox, how you feeling today, my friend?
I'm hurting. I'm hurting. Yes, sir, but it feels good to be here again.
I know you've dedicated so much of your life to other people. What does it mean to be able to give back here today and to be able to remember those lost?
It means the world. I mean, just the mission of the foundation, it just every day it's touching, and you hear, and I mean, 3 miles of support, thousands of people. It just makes you proud to be an American, I guess. You know what I mean?
And you have such an amazing story, and you're inspiring so many people. And thankfully, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation actually donated a house to you, a smart home. So let's take a look back in time to 2019, the day that Scott had his smart home dedicated to him by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
On 9/11, watched everything happen, and I never thought that there would be a day like this.
Scott gave us a tour around his beautiful home that's fully secured, outfitted with accessories and modifications to make his life more comfortable. Like this stovetop right here with a built-in elevator system.
So if I'm in the wheelchair, like here, like if I'm making chili or something, I can just, it's easier to work with if I bring the pot down.
Cool.
But at the same time, if I need to do something while I'm standing, you just bring it right on up.
The organization has built over 70 homes for amputees, so they were able to help Scott in building everything to his liking, all the way down to the tile and the grout in his bathroom.
This is the master suite over here, and my favorite part of the master suite is the master bathroom.
Okay.
Toilet welcomes you when you come in.
Now Knox is spending lots of quality time with his pup Charlie, named after Charlie Company.
I've always wanted a flagpole in front of my house too.
Now you got it.
Yes, sir.
A renewed sense of calmness for a Marine who has sacrificed so much for so many others.
The major factors of my life have been because of 9/11, and that was going to Afghanistan, becoming a firefighter, meeting the Stephen Siller Foundation.
Thousands of participants have now crossed the finish line to the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk.
And our Reagan Mcgee is one of them. We're going to be checking in with her when we return.
I was here the very first year he did it, and it was tiny. And now I'm here for the 20th year, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
It's a matter of pride, and I don't know. I just couldn't not be here. You know what I mean? And this is our 4th year doing it, and hopefully for many more years to come, I'll continue doing it.
An inspiring look at some of the many participants crossing the finish line of the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk.
What began as a comparatively small event 2 decades ago is now one of the biggest 5Ks in America.
Imagine what one man can do in memory of his brother. That day on 9/11, Frank Siller and his brother Stephen and his other brothers, they were going to play golf.
Yeah.
When Stephen got the call, he was off duty, and he made the ultimate sacrifice.
With all his gear, ran right through the battery tunnel. At the time, that's what it was called, straight down to the World Trade Center. He didn't make it home that day. But
Well,
look at what he has done in his name.
It's so inspiring to all of us. Now, earlier, we met Mecca Nelson, whose husband Mario paid the ultimate price as well while serving in Iraq in 2006.
And she is with our Arthur Chin, and they've made it through the tunnel into Lower Manhattan. Arthur.
Hey guys, we're a little winded, but we're on the other side of the tunnel now, again, with Mecca Nelson. Going through this thing today, like, how does it feel for you?
It's amazing. I was thinking about as we was running through, it's like finish strong, because that's something that Mario always said. So I feel great, and I'm happy I was able to focus at the light at the end of the tunnel, because that's what I used to tell myself during my healing process.
What's it like to see this row in particular that New Yorkers don't get to see unless they run this?
It is emotional space. It's powerful to know that. Trying to hold my tears.
Each one is an energy, right? Each one is a force.
Yeah, it's powerful to see these individuals that fought for this country, that sacrificed their life, and for others, and then think about themselves. And I think that right there is something that is important, and it's not that easy to find, but I'm just blessed to know that these people exist. And that I know that I married someone that was willing and able to sacrifice his all. So it's a blessing, and it's something that a lot of us human should learn from.
Two more questions, but on positive things. What you refer to as a community. What is the mechanism of a community that has the impact on you?
It's movement is healing. And
Healing,
togetherness,
right, yeah.
Healing is that space of where you will allow yourself to let go of the hurt and the pain, but also to allow yourself to turn that pain into a purpose. And the togetherness, coming together as one with multiple individuals and on one accord to make a beautiful miracle happen.
And this is what today is about?
Yeah, that's what today is about, doing it with T2T and making it happen in so many aspects. It's powerful.
All right, can I give you a hug?
Yes.
Right. Now go on ahead and finish this race. Go!
Regan Mcgee is one of the people who will be feeling proud to finish today's event. Let's check in with her now.
All right, Regan, one of the more athletically gifted members of our team. Regan, you did it. How was it?
Oh, it is, you can't even describe it in one word. It was exhilarating, it was honorable, it was overwhelming, and just absolutely touching. Take a look at all of these people crossing that finish line. I just did. It was unbelievable. The emotion just coming over you. And then when you look up, you can see One World Observatory. Isn't that incredible? You have also NYPD, FDNY, Port Authority, all throughout in the mix of the sea of people running this race in honor of the 343 FDNY, the 23 NYPD, and the 37 Port Authority. There were banners of people with their images along the route right as you got out of that tunnel, and I tried to slap a high five to every single one of them. It was absolutely an honor to be part of this event. Ladies, back to you.
403 faces that we will never forget.
I know.
All right, Regan, thanks so much. Coming up, he lost his youngest brother on 9/11, but from that loss came a sense of purpose.
We are talking with the man behind the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Frank Siller, about his brother's lasting legacy.
You know how they say, tradition never dies. That's what we're here for.
It was intense, but well worth it. Hats off to the Siller family and turning such an amazing organization into such success.
What an exciting day as the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk winds down.
In addition to being an exciting event, it has a much bigger purpose, serving as a fundraiser for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, so it can continue to provide for service members, first responders, and their families in need.
CEO Frank Siller is with us right now. Frank, always great to have you and today your family on with us.
Yes, I have my three beautiful sisters with me. They're the brains of the operation and the beauty.
So, Frank, how did it go? I know there was a lot of planning that goes into today's event. Are you happy?
I am so happy and so pleased and so proud to see what we were able to do here today. We start the day, the next day for the next year. So the day after this run, we're already working on next year. But the truth to the matter is that after 20 years, to bring, I'd say, over 35,000 people together to honor not just my brother Stephen, but all those who perished 20 years ago, our firefighters, our police officers, and then, of course, take care of all the great Gold Star families. We couldn't be more proud as a family. Stephen's sacrifice keeps on giving back to his community and to his country.
Now, your foundation gives back in such a huge way that wouldn't be possible without people donating finances. Talk to us about how people can get involved and continue to make sure that your work gets done.
So, this year alone, we're delivering 200 mortgage-free homes to our catastrophically injured service members, our Gold Star families, and fallen first responder families that give it all for our country. Go to T2T.org. Donate a stinking $11 a month, and that's what I say, stinking $11 a month, because we're not asking for that much, because let's face it, all of America should come together to take care of the families that make the ultimate sacrifice, and I think that's the least that we can do. We need to do a lot more than 200 houses a year, and if more people come and join us on a mission, we'll be able to do that.
What a beautiful tribute to your brother, Stephen. I just have to ask, how are his kids, and did they participate today?
Some of them were here today, some are away at college, and they're working. Was a nurse. There are different things that they're very productive human beings. So we're proud. We have our spouses here, our grandchildren, and there's a lot of Sillers here today. You can count on that.
Well, we salute you and your beautiful family. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. And of course, God bless America. And thank you, Fox, for your support.
Thanks, Frank Siller.
Incredible day.
I know. I mean, think about what he's done and created here and given back to so many people in our community.
Yeah. It's so much money pouring into these people that need the help, that need the homes, and making sure that legacy is never forgotten.
And it's not.
All right, I have no doubt in my mind that Frank's brother Stephen is up there looking down on this event and with just pride and joy. I mean, you go from 1,500 participants to over 35,000.
And his family is just unbelievable. They do so much for our community.
Yeah.
Thank you.
An incredible day.
All right, the Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk is an unforgettable event with a lasting impact. Ryan Christopher joins us with some final thoughts. What's going on, Ryan?
Oh, good morning there, ladies. We're here on Vesey Street where they totally closed it down for a little after party. A lot of sweat and tears through the run and race. We spoke to so many people out there, but today on stage, a lot of commemorates, a little bit of celebration with a big day.
It's a beautiful day in New York City!
I saw the second plane hit the tower from Curtis High School, and that's an image I'll never forget. And it's also the reason why I enlisted.
First time for me to actually participate in this, and it's been absolutely very emotional, but very healing.
Thousands of runners, walkers, and supporters all gathered to sing, dance, and fuel up on food after the 5K. Country stars Big and Rich took the stage for a performance, and we spoke to them backstage.
You know, it's the spirit of America is alive and well here today. I think Americans have really gone down in history as probably being the most benevolent people of any country that ever existed, and you see that on display today. What Mr. Siller did, running through that tunnel, going back to the building, perishing, losing his own life, trying to save his countrymen, that's what it means to be an American. So to play music here today, it's an honor, man.
Say heave, ho, and away we go!
As members of the FDNY marched carrying banners of the 343 firefighters killed on 9/11, the band stopped to pay tribute.
Wow. Now, Big Kenny, tell me how this performance ranks. You guys have toured all around the world, but to be here today, where does this rank?
I mean, it's one thing to go out and perform for people just to have fun, have a good time. But to be here in a performance like this today and to honor all those who've fallen, to honor those who continue every day to do what they do, for the fellow man. It's bigger than anything. I mean, I got a name, Big Kenny, but this is bigger than anything. I think this ranks right up there at the top of anything we could possibly do.
They're rocking out on stage, a big party here on Vesey Street, but of course all inter members, you can see just behind me, One World Trade. Ladies, a beautiful day, very moving here in downtown New York City. Sitting back on this side.
Thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you for joining us for the 2021 Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk.
And we leave you with some memorable moments from this very special day.